In their eagerness, the brothers break cover too soon. The advantage of surprise is lost. It's not uncommon for buffalo to retaliate. They take to the trees. Besieged, they will remain there until the buffaloes lose interest. For now, they must contemplate their failure in safety.
For 12 years, I have reigned as lord of my domain. I have hunted, and I have fought and won many battles. This land has nurtured me and my legacy. But now, my age wells up without a sound. It is no longer possible for me to live proudly, but I shall die so, knowing I have two sons who will continue my bloodline and the legacy that is the brotherhood. My family has lived in this region of Mpumalanga province, South Africa, for generations. Known as the Lowveld, it's a vast expanse of land where nature is the supreme authority and we, the lions, its sovereign lords. But it was not always so. We were not always kings of this wild place. 150 years ago, Europeans arrived in the area. They came with wagons, livestock, and expectations, and began to impose their law of control and division on the bush. They built fences and roads, and ruled this land with a civilization of the bullet. Then, the Kruger National Park was proclaimed. More fences were erected. Migratory routes severed. Game populations dwindled. And cattle became the obvious alternative for us. We in turn were preyed upon by guns and greed. This land is soaked in the blood of my ancestors.
It took 80 years for the slaughter to end, before a new dawn brought men a vision. Men who realized the value of what they had been destroying. They began to restore and nurture the land and all who lived by it. Now the fences have come down between the Kruger National Park and the old lions' hunting grounds. A new era of cooperation between man and wildlife saw the return of large herds of antelope and wildlife in all its majestic diversity roaming free once again. The great predators reclaimed their birthright as lords of the Lowveld. Londolozi Game Reserve has led the way in changing human attitudes towards wildlife. It was one of the first places outside the Kruger Park to give the land back to the animals. One of Londolozi's resident prides lives within a 15.5 square mile territory. It consists of 4 females and their 12 cubs, some still infants, others from earlier litters. 2 males control the harem. Collectively, they're known as the Sparta Pride, a tightly knit social unit that depends on keeping its territory intact and safe from rivals. Their territory is bordered by the Magnoletti and Sand rivers, and the 2 males have ruled over it for 4.5 years. Trespassing in Sparta territory are 2 brothers, the legacy of the old male lion. The brothers head for Palapala Kopi, the heart of Sparta territory. Driven by the biological desire to procreate, the brothers ascend the Kopi to survey the vicinity. If they are to continue their bloodline, they must stake their claim. From the vantage point, they see the Sparta Pride resting in the heat of the day. They take stock of its size, noting the condition and age of the 2 pride males. They are past their prime. Conflict is inevitable. The veterans will defend their territory and their pride against all pretenders to the throne. Unaware of the approaching danger, the Sparta Pride is relaxed, sapped by the day's heat. A perfect time to attack. The brothers move in. Should the takeover be successful, the brothers will kill the cubs without delay. But first, they must destroy the older males. A 3-month-old cub has escaped the carnage. Separated from its mother, it is defenseless and will probably not last the night. Victorious coup d'etat accomplished. The king is dead. Long live the kings. Escaped, wounded, his genetic line now depends on his cub's survival. Male lions won't invest the time or energy required to raise a rival's genes. Infanticide takes place during